ASMR History Channel. I'm Sophie, and today we're going to take a tranquil yet deeply engaging journey back in time to one of the most pivotal moments in history, the Fall of Constantinople. Imagine the distant echoes of cannon fire, the resolute footsteps of soldiers, and the whispering winds carrying tales of empires and legacies. As we unravel the story of May 29th, 1453, you'll find yourself immersed in the intricate siege led by Sultan Mehmed II, the relentless battle strategies, and the profound impact this event had on the course of history. So, sit back, relax, and let the soothing narration guide you through the rise and fall of empires and the birth of a new era. The Fall of Constantinople on the 29th of May in 1453 marked a significant event in history, symbolising the end of the Byzantine Empire and altering the course of European and Middle Eastern history. Sultan Mehmed II, leading the Ottoman Turks, orchestrated a relentless and meticulously planned siege that ultimately led to the city's surrender. Utilising advanced artillery technology, particularly massive cannons designed by engineers like Urban, the Ottomans successfully breached the formidable Theodosian fortifications that had protected the city for centuries. This conquest not only reshaped global power dynamics, signalling the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a dominant force, but also marked the transition from the medieval era to the emerging period of the Renaissance. The capture of Constantinople facilitated a flow of Greek scholars and texts into Western Europe, which played a crucial role in sparking the intellectual revival that characterised the Renaissance. The aftermath of the siege, however, was marred by acts of brutality and cruelty, including widespread looting, massacres, and the enslavement of thousands, highlighting the harsh realities of medieval warfare. Established in 330 AD by Constantine the Great, Constantinople had endured numerous sieges throughout its long and storied history, with the conquest of 1453 being only the second successful one in its chronicles. Previously, the city had briefly fallen during the Fourth Crusade in 1204, an event that led to the fragmentation of the Byzantine Empire into various successor states and marked a significant decline in Byzantine power. The Byzantines later reclaimed Constantinople in 1261 from the Nicaeans, restoring the empire under the Palaiologos dynasty. However, despite this resurgence, the empire remained vulnerable, facing constant threats from different foes, including the Latins, Serbs, Bulgarians, and the rising Ottoman Empire, which was steadily expanding its territory and influence in the region. The devastating impact of the Black Death pandemic from 1346 to 1349 had significantly reduced Constantinople's population, accelerating the empire's decline and weakening its ability to defend itself against external threats. By 1453, the city had diminished in size and prosperity, confined mainly within the ancient Theodosian Walls and surrounded by vast open spaces that once housed a bustling metropolis. Once the heart of a sprawling empire, Constantinople now stood as a cultural stronghold, with its territories reduced to the city itself and a few peripheral islands in the Sea of Marmara. Mehmed II's rise to power in 1451 marked a significant turning point in Ottoman history, catching European powers off guard with his strategic acumen and ambitious vision. Initially underestimated due to his youth, Mehmed quickly dispelled any doubts about his capabilities by embarking on ambitious projects like the construction of the imposing Rumeli Hisari fortress in early 1452. This strategic move not only showcased his military prowess, but also established Ottoman control over the crucial maritime passage through the Bosphorus, effectively bolstering defences against potential threats from Genoese settlements along the Black Sea coast and securing a key strategic advantage in his campaign against Constantinople, known as Boğazkesin or Straight Blocker in Turkish. The Rumeli Hisari fortress was a key element in Mehmed II's intricate plan to encircle Constantinople and cut off potential assistance from the despots in southern Greece during the upcoming siege. The strategic location of this fortress on the European side of the Bosphorus allowed the Ottomans to control naval traffic and prevent aid from reaching the Byzantine capital. To prepare for the impending conflict, Mehmed focused on improving infrastructure to facilitate the swift movement of troops and heavy artillery from Adrianople to Constantinople. This included the enhancement of roads and bridges, showcasing his meticulous attention to detail and foresight in military logistics. Mehmed understood that the success of the siege depended not only on brute force, but also on the ability to move his army and equipment efficiently, ensuring that his forces were well supplied and could maintain the pressure on the city. Mehmed's determination and strategic vision were further underscored in a poignant address captured by the Greek historian Michael Critopoulos. In his speech, Mehmed invoked the bravery and sacrifices of his predecessors, highlighting the legacy of the Ottoman Empire and the importance of honouring their achievements. By rallying his soldiers around this shared heritage, Mehmed sought to inspire them for the arduous battle ahead, emphasising the pivotal role they would play in shaping history and securing their place in the annals of greatness. This speech was a masterful blend of motivational rhetoric and a call to arms, designed to unify his troops under a common cause. Before the 850 section's conclusion, Byzantine ruler Constantine displayed a deep understanding of the threat posed by Mehmed's military strategies. His attempts to seek aid from Western Europe, however, proved to be a daunting task due to the long-standing tensions between the Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches following their schism in 1054. Previous endeavours to achieve church unity, such as those from the Second Council of Lyon in 1274 and the Council of Florence in 1439, faced strong opposition in Constantinople due to historical animosities, including the massacre of the Latins in 1182 and the sacking of Constantinople during the Fourth Crusade of 1204, which fueled intense anti-Latin sentiments among the Byzantine populace. To counter the Ottoman menace, Emperor Constantine XI made a commitment to enforce church unity in exchange for military support. This decision, made in December of 1452 and reluctantly approved by a divided imperial court, failed to garner significant military aid from Western Europe. The major Western powers were engrossed in internal matters, such as the ongoing 100 Years' War between England and France, and though some assistance trickled in, notably from Genoa's Giovanni Giustiniani, it was insufficient against the formidable Ottoman forces. Despite efforts like dispatching a fleet from Venice, the delayed arrival rendered it ineffective upon reaching Constantinople. Additionally, the abandonment of Italian ships meant for the city's defence upon Giustiniani's arrival further complicated Byzantium's challenges in securing substantial support against Mehmed's relentless siege. Nonetheless, Emperor Constantine took decisive defensive measures against the imminent Ottoman naval assault. The defensive measures implemented to safeguard Constantinople during the siege were multifaceted and comprehensive. One crucial strategy involved the construction of a massive chain that spanned the Golden Horn, bolstered floating logs strategically positioned to impede Ottoman ships from penetrating the harbour. This defensive manoeuvre was a direct response to the city's vulnerability, which was laid bare during the successful breach of its defences by the Fourth Crusade. Furthermore, the land fortifications, particularly along the walls in the susceptible Black Kenai section, were fortified with a wide moat, crenellated walls, and strategically placed towers to augment defensive capabilities and deter enemy advances. These preparations reflected a combination of ancient defensive techniques and innovative responses to the unique challenges posed by Mehmed's artillery and naval strategies. Despite the formidable fortified structures of Constantinople, the Byzantine defenders found themselves significantly outnumbered, with only around 7,000 men available for defence. Of these, a mere 2,000 were foreign mercenaries. The dwindling population of the city had a pronounced impact on its defensive prowess, as evidenced by a census indicating a scarcity of both Greek and foreign individuals capable of actively defending the city. The defending force, comprising volunteers and additional foreign units, amounted to less than 8,000 men tasked with safeguarding the extensive 12-mile perimeter of the city. This small number of defenders had to spread themselves thinly across the vast defences, making it incredibly challenging to maintain a strong and consistent defence against the overwhelming forces of the Ottomans. Numerous citizens of Constantinople played indispensable roles in the defence efforts, from shoring up the walls to managing the dwindling food supplies. The community's commitment to defending their city was exemplified by the lengths to which individuals went to support the effort. Some resorted to melting church treasures to mint coins for payment to the defenders, showcasing the depth of their dedication and sacrifice. Despite possessing a limited number of artillery pieces, the defending force found them to be of minimal effectiveness against the sophisticated siege tactics employed by the Ottoman forces. The defenders' artillery, while present, was no match for the advanced weaponry and techniques used by the attackers. In stark contrast, Sultan Mehmed II's Ottoman army was vastly larger and better equipped, estimated to range from 50,000 to 80,000 soldiers. This formidable force included elite janissaries and Christian troops, highlighting the diverse and powerful composition of the Ottoman military. Recognizing the critical role of naval power, Mehmed orchestrated a formidable fleet to bolster the siege of Constantinople, with estimates of the fleet size varying significantly. Modern assessments suggest a fleet of approximately 110 ships, comprising large galleys, smaller galleys, and rowing boats. This naval force played a crucial role in the siege, enabling the Ottomans to maintain a blockade and exert pressure on the city from multiple fronts. The Ottoman forces also possessed a formidable artillery arsenal, including cannons, further amplifying their siege capabilities. The effectiveness of these cannons in breaching the city's defences was a testament to their advanced engineering and the strategic foresight of Mehmed II. Despite facing a considerable numerical disadvantage, the defenders of Constantinople remained resolute and unwavering in their determination to protect the city at all costs. Mehmed, the leader of the Ottomans during the historic siege of Constantinople, devised a multifaceted strategy that placed a significant emphasis on maritime capabilities. A pivotal aspect of this strategy involved the deployment of a formidable naval force to support their artillery operations. The Ottomans took the defenders by surprise with the range and effectiveness of their cannons, which varied in number from 12 to an impressive 62. These cannons were meticulously by skilled engineers like Saruca, with invaluable assistance from the foreign engineer Orban. Orban, a Hungarian engineer initially associated with the Byzantines, eventually secured funding from Mehmed II to construct the awe-inspiring Basilica cannon. This monumental cannon possessed the extraordinary capability to propel a massive 600-pound stone ball over a mile, making it one of the most formidable weapons of its time. Despite its remarkable features, the cannon faced challenges such as a slow reloading process and a scarcity of ammunition, leading to speculations that it might have incurred damage from its own recoil. The use of such advanced artillery by the Ottomans was a key factor in their eventual success in breaching the formidable walls of Constantinople, showcasing the pivotal role of technological innovation in warfare. Merman's strategic acumen extended far beyond mere military tactics, encompassing essential logistical preparations that proved pivotal during the siege of Constantinople. Prior to the final onslaught on the Byzantine capital, Merman orchestrated the intricate transportation of his artillery, including the formidable Basilica cannon crafted by Orban. This monumental logistical feat involved moving the heavy and cumbersome artillery over considerable distances, a task that required careful planning and coordination. The Ottomans meticulously targeted the formidable Theodosian Walls, positioning their army and artillery in strategic locations to maximise their impact on the city's defences. Recognising the dangers of an extended encampment, the Ottomans implemented stringent hygiene measures to prevent the outbreak of diseases among their troops. This meticulous approach to logistics and health underscored Mehmed II's shrewdness and his comprehensive understanding of the factors necessary for a successful siege. Constantinople, the illustrious Byzantine capital, boasted some of the most resilient fortifications in the medieval world, with approximately 20 kilometres of formidable walls that had been continuously reinforced over the ages. The land walls extended around 5.5 kilometres, while the sea walls bordering the Golden Horn and the Sea of Marmara were extensive, measuring 7 kilometres and 7.5 kilometres respectively. Despite recent renovations during the reign of Emperor John VII, the defenders of the city remained steadfast in their confidence in the strength of the fortifications and their capacity to endure the siege until reinforcements arrived from Western Europe. The Byzantines had meticulously devised a comprehensive defensive strategy that covered both the land and sea approaches. They strategically stationed defenders along the walls and maintained a small fleet of 26 ships to deter potential naval threats. This fleet, comprised of ships from various European powers such as Genoa, Venice, and a lone vessel from France, played a crucial role in commanding the seaways and providing potential support to the city from the land sides. Emperor Constantine took a personal role in defending Mesotachion, the central part of the land walls, intersected by the river Lycus, which was identified as the most vulnerable point of the fortifications. Initially stationed to the north of the Charcian Gate, esteemed commanders like Justiniani were later relocated to fortify this critical central sector. The different sections of the land walls were manned by a combination of Greek, Genoese, and Venetian commanders, each overseeing a specific portion of the defences, while the sea walls were less densely guarded, reflecting the Byzantines' confidence in their naval prowess and the natural barrier offered by the sea. Key positions along the sea walls were supervised by commanders from Genoa and Venice. This highlighted the significant role played by the Italian maritime republics in Constantinople Byzantines also maintained two reserve forces within the city. One was positioned close to the land walls, and the other by the Church of the Holy Apostles, ready to respond to breaches or critical junctures in the conflict. Despite facing formidable Ottoman forces equipped with larger and more potent cannons and a superior number of soldiers, the Byzantine defences were intricate and resilient, making the city exceptionally well fortified. The Byzantine cannons, although smaller and less effective than the Ottoman artillery, still played a role in the defence. However, they occasionally caused damage to the very walls they were meant to protect due to their recoil. This complexity in the Byzantine defensive measures, combined with their strategic positioning and the resilience of their troops, made the siege of Constantinople a protracted and challenging endeavour for the Ottomans. The confidence in Constantinople's ability to withstand the siege was not mere optimism, but was founded on a solid evaluation of its exceptional defences and its strategic geographical location. At the onset of the siege, Mehmed II, the Ottoman Sultan, focused on swiftly eliminating the remaining Byzantine strongholds surrounding Constantinople to consolidate his dominance and ensure the success of his campaign. Strategic locations such as the fortress of Therapia on the Bosphorus and a smaller castle near the village of Studius by the Sea of Marmara were quickly seized by Ottoman forces. The Ottoman navy, under the command of Admiral Baloglu, also captured the Prince Islands in the Sea of Marmara, further tightening the encirclement around Constantinople. The massive Ottoman cannons relentlessly bombarded the city's walls. Despite their formidable size and destructive power, the cannons had a slow firing rate and a lack of accuracy. This allowed the Byzantine defenders, who were well prepared and resourceful, to repair the damage inflicted by each assault, significantly reducing the overall effectiveness of the Ottoman artillery campaign. The Ottoman navy faced significant challenges as well, particularly due to the Byzantine defenders' strategic placement of an extensive chain across the entrance to the Golden Horn. This massive chain effectively blocked Ottoman ships from entering and controlling this vital waterway. The obstruction posed a significant hurdle for the Ottomans, limiting their ability to navigate and control key water passages crucial for their siege strategy. This innovative defensive measure by the Byzantines showcased their keen understanding of the city's geographical features and their ability to use these features to gain a tactical advantage over the Ottoman forces. By impeding the Ottoman navy's access to the Golden Horn, the Byzantines disrupted the enemy's supply lines and reinforcement efforts, further bolstering their defence of Constantinople. In a daring and courageous maritime engagement on April 20th, a small Christian fleet managed to skillfully break through the blockade and navigate into the Golden Horn, significantly boosting the morale of the city's defenders. This act of bravery led to severe retribution against Admiral Baloglu, who not only lost his rank, but also endured a humiliating public beating and had his belongings confiscated by the Janissaries. This public punishment, witnessed by a large audience, served as a powerful warning to potential dissenters within the Ottoman ranks. Just a couple of days later, on April 22nd, Mehmed II showcased his tactical brilliance by ordering his vessels to be transported overland on lubricated logs through the Galata district. This ingenious manoeuvre allowed the Ottoman navy to bypass the chain obstacle and directly threaten the Byzantine sea defences, effectively cutting off any potential reinforcements from the nearby Genoese settlement of Pera. This bold move intensified the pressure on the already besieged Byzantine fortifications, demonstrating Mehmed II's innovative and resourceful approach to overcoming formidable defensive measures. Tensions reached a boiling point when the Byzantines retaliated by unleashing incendiary vessels in an attempt to set the Ottoman fleet ablaze within the Golden Horn. However, this failed assault resulted in the capture of 40 Italians who were attempting to flee the sinking fire ships. The Ottoman forces responded ruthlessly, gruesomely impaling all the captives on the northern shore as a brutal warning to their enemies. In a retaliatory move, the Byzantines executed 260 Ottoman captives on the city walls, sending a chilling message to the advancing Ottoman soldiers. This escalation in brutality and savagery underscored the high stakes and intense animosity driving both sides in the conflict, highlighting the desperate and ferocious nature of the siege of Constantinople. These brutal clashes marked a crucial turning point in the siege of Constantinople, compelling the Byzantines to further extend their defences to protect the sea walls along the Golden Horn, in addition to their already stretched land fortifications. Under the command of Sultan Mehmed II, the Turks launched numerous unsuccessful assaults on the city's walls. This intense and relentless siege was meticulously documented by Niccolo Barbaro, a Venetian physician who witnessed the events firsthand, providing a vivid account of the turmoil and desperation experienced by both the attackers and defenders. As the siege of Constantinople progressed into late May, Sultan Mehmed II's strategic manoeuvres continued to escalate. Despite the relentless artillery bombardment by the Ottoman forces, Mehmed's determination set the stage for a climactic and decisive conclusion to this historic siege that would ultimately shape the fate of the city and its defenders. Facing the formidable Theodosian Walls, the initial methods of the Ottomans proved ineffective, prompting them to shift their approach. On the 25th of May, they began mining operations to undermine the structure, enlisting skilled Serbian miners from Novo Bero, led by Zargan Pasha, for their expertise in this field. In response, the Byzantines, guided by engineer Johann Grant, swiftly implemented counter-mining strategies to thwart the Ottoman tunnels. Close combat and the use of Greek fire were employed to successfully intercept these Ottoman mining attempts, leading to significant clashes on various nights, particularly on the 21st, 23rd and 25th of May. Throughout these confrontations, the Byzantines managed to capture and interrogate 2 Turkish officers. This intelligence led to the identification and elimination of all Ottoman mining efforts beneath the walls. Meanwhile, on the 21st of May, Sultan Mehmed II presented surrender terms to Emperor Constantine XI, proposing a peaceful capitulation with guarantees of safe passage and protection for those who chose to remain in the city. However, Emperor Constantine staunchly rejected all conditions, asserting that the citizens' fate was to bravely face peril rather than submit to the Ottomans. As tensions escalated, dissension emerged within Mehmed's council, with Halil Pasha suggesting the abandonment of the campaign due to setbacks in mining, while Zargan Pasha advocated for an immediate attack, believing the city's defences were compromised. Influenced by Zargan Pasha's urging and driven by the desire to swiftly capture Constantinople, Sultan Mehmed II prepared his troops for a final assault, transitioning from a prolonged siege to a full-scale offensive. The meticulous planning and precise execution of the Ottoman forces' final preparations were evident. On the evening of the 26th of May, 1453, Mehmed initiated an extensive mobilization of his army, marking the beginning of a 36-hour period dedicated to readiness. the soldiers were granted time for rest and prayer on the 28th of May, a day before the planned assault, emphasising the gravity of the impending conflict. Meanwhile, under the leadership of Emperor Constantine, the defenders of Constantinople braced themselves for the imminent onslaught. The city's morale experienced a significant boost with the arrival of a small Venetian fleet on the 27th of May. However, the fleet's disappointing news revealed that no significant relief force was en route to aid them. On that same day, the city was immersed in fervent religious observances, characterised by grand processions and ceremonies that culminated in a poignant final Vesper service at the Hagia Sophia. Both the Latin and Greek communities of the city actively participated in the events, symbolising a fleeting moment of unity amidst the prevailing despondency and uncertainty. As the Ottomans meticulously prepared for the impending battle, their artillery had already unleashed an estimated 5,000 cannon rounds, consuming approximately 55,000 pounds of gunpowder. Despite this relentless bombardment, the formidable Theodosian Walls remained largely intact, thanks to the defenders' swift and effective repair work between attacks. The full-scale assault officially commenced shortly after midnight on the 29th of May. The initial offensives were led by Christian soldiers coerced into serving in the Ottoman army, followed by waves of irregular troops and the more disciplined Anatolian Turkmen forces. The primary target of these initial assaults was a segment of the older walls located to the northwest. Although the attackers momentarily breached the walls, the defenders promptly repelled the intrusion, maintaining their defensive positions. The critical juncture in the battle arrived with the deployment of the elite Janissaries. During this intense phase of combat, Giovanni Giustiniani, the commander overseeing the defence of the land walls, sustained severe injuries. His subsequent evacuation led to a significant breakdown in the morale and organisational structure of the defenders, ultimately enabling the Janissaries to gain significant ground and momentum in the battle. The fall of the city was marked by intense and brutal urban warfare. According to reports, Emperor Constantine shed his imperial regalia and led a final desperate charge against the invaders. The specifics of his fate remain shrouded in speculation and myth, with some accounts suggesting he perished in combat near the San Romano Gate, while other narratives propose that he took his own life. As the city succumbed to the invaders, Mehmed II issued orders for his troops to secure key locations, such as the Church of the Holy Apostles, which was designated as the headquarters for the new Orthodox Patriarch under Ottoman rule. The Hagia Sophia, which housed numerous refugees, was breached, and its occupants were tragically segregated for purposes of slavery, ransom, or worse. Following the capture of Constantinople, Mehmed II's efforts to consolidate control varied from strategic leniency to severe reprisals. The Sultan's forces refrained from indiscriminate slaughter, opting instead for looting and the detainment of valuable captives. The cultural and economic hub of the Byzantine Empire transitioned into Ottoman hands, marking the end of an era and the dawn of a new historical epoch. However, the aftermath of the conquest saw the city of Istanbul endure a turbulent period marked by extensive looting and devastation. By the 2nd of June, the once famed city, known for its multitude of Orthodox churches, lay in ruins. Reports circulated detailing the violation of religious sites, abandoned homes, and plundered shops. Mehmed II, deeply saddened by the widespread destruction that had befallen the city, expressed remorse over the extensive pillaging carried out by sailors and marines who had breached the city's less fortified walls before the main Ottoman forces took control. While some historical accounts suggest that the common people of Constantinople may have experienced more compassionate treatment from the Ottoman conquerors compared to the Crusaders in 1204, there are contrasting reports that highlight a significant death toll, challenging this perception. The Venetian Senate's records recount the substantial losses suffered by Venetian nobles and civilians during the siege, painting a picture of widespread devastation. Additionally, it is important to note that a considerable portion of the city's riches had already been looted during the Fourth Crusade, which resulted in fewer spoils for the Ottomans to seize upon their triumph. This prior looting significantly diminished the wealth available to the Ottoman forces, altering the dynamics of their conquest. Contemporary narratives vividly depict the harrowing events during the fall of Constantinople. Chronicles from that period detail the enslaving of the population by the Turks, with executions carried out against those who resisted. These accounts chronicle not only the plunder of the city, but also the enslavement of its people, and the looting of treasures from the imperial palace and affluent residences. The aftermath of the siege was marked by tragic incidents that underscored the brutality of medieval warfare and the harsh realities faced by individuals caught in the midst of such conflicts. Nicholas de Nicole's poignant account delves deeply into the tragic fates that befell captives during the siege, shedding light on the appalling realities of slavery, where individuals were shamefully paraded and traded in the city's markets. His detailed narrative particularly focuses on the vulnerability of young girls, emphasizing the severe consequences of the Ottoman victory. The Hagia Sophia, once a revered sanctuary of spiritual solace, was tragically transformed into a theatre of indiscriminate violence and brutality, with both men and women enduring unspeakable horrors. The elderly, injured, and those seeking sanctuary within churches faced a grim ultimatum between death and enslavement, encapsulating the profound hopelessness and anguish that pervaded Constantinople during this tumultuous period of history. The aftermath of Mehmed's triumph further underscores the ruthless essence of the conquest, with chilling reports of captives being callously executed for entertainment during the jubilant celebrations. The tragic tale of Grand Duke Lucas Notaras, who valiantly resisted yielding his youngest son to the Sultan's demands and paid the ultimate price alongside his family, symbolises the personal tragedies that unfolded amidst the city's collapse. The climactic assault on May 29th marked the definitive end of the siege, sealing Constantinople's full capitulation to the Ottoman forces. This day stands as a significant historical marker, indicating not only the end of Byzantine rule, but also the beginning of a new era under Ottoman dominance. The post-conquest era ushered in unspeakable atrocities for the once magnificent city, as the Ottomans unleashed 3 days of unbridled pillaging and brutalities, shattering the illusion of eternal security provided by the Theodosian Walls. The desecration of the Hagia Sophia, a revered bastion of Orthodox Christianity, serves as a poignant symbol of the sacrilegious nature of the conquest. Eyewitness testimonies, such as those from George Santys, vividly depict the savagery inflicted upon the populace. Initial chaos eventually gave way to a semblance of order as the Sultan intervened to quell further violence, but the damage had already been done, leaving an indelible mark on the city's history and its inhabitants' memories. Mehmed's stern response to the violation of the Hagia Sophia underscores his dominion over the physical city, reasserting control over the turbulent aftermath and offering a glimmer of hope for the traumatized survivors. This decisive action highlighted his authority and his ability to restore order amidst chaos, providing a semblance of stability to a city reeling from conquest. The year 1453 marked a pivotal moment in history with the fall of Constantinople, signalling the end of the Byzantine Empire. This significant event led to the dispersal of Greek scholars towards the Western world, where they carried with them a wealth of classical knowledge that would greatly influence the Renaissance. The migration of these scholars played a crucial role in reviving interest in ancient Greek and Roman texts, which, in turn, spurred intellectual and cultural advancements in Europe. Various historical accounts shed light on the Sultan's reaction to the devastation, showcasing a more compassionate side to his character. These narratives reveal a ruler who, despite orchestrating the city's conquest, sought to mitigate the suffering of its inhabitants once victory was secured. Mehmed's actions following the fall of Constantinople indicate a complex personality, balancing military ambition with moments of clemency. Despite the heartbreaking loss of Constantinople, this event sparked a transfer of knowledge that would have a lasting impact on the Islamic world during the Renaissance period. The influx of Greek texts and scholars into the Ottoman Empire contributed to a flourishing of arts, science, and philosophy, enhancing the intellectual landscape of the Islamic world. Mehmed, known as the Conqueror, who fulfilled an ancient prophecy, not only expanded the reach of Islam into Europe, but also laid the groundwork for a new, powerful dynasty that would dominate for generations to come. His conquests and subsequent policies helped solidify Ottoman power, ensuring its prominence in the region for centuries. The fall of Constantinople and Mehmed's rule marked the beginning of an era characterized by both cultural exchanges and military prowess. The city's transformation under Ottoman control became a symbol of a new order, bridging the East and West and reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the time. As we conclude our journey through the fall of Constantinople, I hope you felt the profound significance of this historic event. From the meticulous strategies of Sultan Mehmed II to the brave last stand of Emperor Constantine XI, this tale is one of both tragic ends and new beginnings. The fall of this magnificent city not only marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, but also heralded the dawn of the Renaissance, reshaping the cultural and intellectual landscape of Europe. Thank you for joining me, Sophie, on the ASMR History Channel. I hope this exploration has left you with a deeper understanding and appreciation of our shared past. Until next time, may history continue to whisper its secrets to those who listen.